Welcome to the grill, and tonight we're making Rendezvous' famous Memphis-style ribs.
Come on in, grab a plate and hold on to your appetite. It's time for Floyd at the Grill.
This Rendezvous Memphis-style ribs recipe is inspired, of course, by Charlie Vergo's Rendezvous. That's a family restaurant that started in Memphis in 1948 and proclaimed to be the originator in Memphis-style ribs. Memphis-style ribs, of course, no sauce at all dry rub ribs. And let me tell you, when I went to Charlie Vergo's Rendezvous, it was a phenomenal experience. Great ribs, great flavor, great taste, and I wanted to see if I could create it on my own. So we got this nice Publix rack of ribs here. It came with the 3 bones cut off of there because they, had to fit the package. So what I'm going to do is take some of our Rendezvous rub here and just rub it down. Now a lot of folks will put mustard on as a bonding agent. I typically don't do that because I don't like to put the mustard flavor into my ribs, but that's just me. I mean, some find it better, some don't. So, just sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. Try a little bit in a little spot and then see how it goes. If not, then know not to do it next time. So rub a little bit in there. So we get a generous coating of our Rendezvous rub, and we're going to do it on both sides. Now I'm not wearing gloves because these are my ribs and they're only for my consumption, so it's just for my doing. So if I was cooking for a lot of people, I would wear gloves, of course, for safe food handling. Now we have good generous coats on both ends. Rubbing around on the bone side as well. Because I like to put flavor on both sides, You gotta have that flavor. Flavor is good. And we're only using rub. We're not doing a sauce because we know with Memphis style, you don't do the sauce. So we'll flip it back over, back onto the meat side, and make sure that we still have a generous coating there. Put a little bit more on there just to hold it in there a little bit. Pop that in there a bit. Now, we're going to let this sit for about a half an hour while the coals are starting to get to the right temperature for our smoker, and then we'll throw it on the coals. Alright, our ribs have been resting for about a half an hour. That gives us time for the juices to soak up into that rub, so it makes it stick to the ribs a little bit more, absorb some of that flavor and puts that into the meat as well. Now we've got our smoker up to about between 225, 250, so we're going to go ahead and load this up and put this on. Now one thing that Rendezvous does is that they have charcoal. They are charcoal smoked ribs, but I put hickory on my charcoal, so I will have that hickory flavor in there in a mine, so I don't know if they do that or not. That's on their privilege, but for me, definitely hickory is a must. All right, we're worked on about 2 hours on our smoke, so we're about halfway through with our roast on these ribs, and they are looking really good. Take out that juiciness right there. Also looking on that rib and getting that good saturation with that rub. We're going to put a little bit more rub on it just to keep it saturated a bit. I would have thought about putting some moisture on it, but I don't know if Rendezvous does that, because I don't know the secrets in their cook. But I would normally get some like apple juice or peach juice and then a little spritzer on there, a little bit of marinade or something, just to keep the meat moist all throughout the cook. The biggest thing about this is, with a cook this long, you got to watch your fire, because my fire did get down to under 225 degrees, but I saw that the smoke was dying and it started to feed out. I went ahead and put more hickory and more charcoal on it, And that did get it back up to that 220, to the 300 or 275 mark, what we're looking for to go throughout the rest of the cook. All right, it's time to take our ribs up, so let's see how we did. Ooh, get that kiss of smoke right in the face. And that is some gorgeous looking ribs right there. We're gonna take them off. Oh yeah, it's good tenderness in there. So we're gonna take them off and then give it a little taste test. All right, let's try the Rendezvous Memphis-style ribs. Now, Rendezvous is baby backs, I think, and what I got before some St. Louis ribs. But it's got a good smoke ring to it, and it's got a good look on the meat. I got a little bit of the short bones and the long bones here, so try a little bit of both, see how they came out. Try one of the short bones here. That was good. Take a tip off. That's good. There's a little bit of something extra that they do that made it a little bit different. That I didn't do. Got a good bite to it. Came out good, perfect. Yeah, it's just a little bit of something different that they did in their flavor that I don't know. That's part of their secret recipe. It's really good. So yeah, Memphis-style dry rub. Again, dry rib. It's not supposed to need sauce. Not supposed to use sauce. No, they don't frown upon it as they used to. So you could use sauce, and they actually do sell sauce, which is actually really good too. But this is one of the first ribs I ever had that never needed sauce, and it's a great flavor. It's a great rib. But as you can see, it came out very moist without using any extra to keep it moisturized. So yeah. I think I cooked mine a little bit longer than theirs. Is that mine is almost fall off the bone. It's not fall off the bone. It's got a good bite to it. Now that's a difference that they did with their ribs that you don't normally get at a restaurant. You usually get those quote unquote fall off the bone ribs. Theirs are more tight. It has more of a texture and a tenderness that it gives you more of a bite. So when you will leave a bite mark under your rib when you bite into their ribs, which some people didn't care for it too much. Most used to the restaurant ribs, competition style ribs are more of that has that bite. There's that perfect cook right there, because that fall off the bone, it's a little bit overcooked a little bit because it makes the meat a little mushy, and you don't really want mushy meat. When you get that perfect bite and you get used to that perfect bite, you'll never want another bite. Got a little chocolatini here to enjoy with my ribs. And that is good and tasty too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Come back next time, and don't forget to follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. Thanks for watching. Come back again.
Thanks for watching Floyd at the Grill, a Hilltop Media production.